my people who have already been who have already been subscribers. Good morning and grand rising to those who are new, and I welcome you. Okay, as you see, the title says Jesus has recently stopped a planned attack on your life. Okay, and we will be reading from Psalm 90 today. All right, so God recently stopped you dead in your tracks from going somewhere. God recently put you in a mood to not all of a sudden go out. It's different for everybody, okay? So, some of you all, you could have recently had a plan to go overseas, go to a job interview. It could have been an hour out, it could have been 35 minutes out, it could have been the furthest you've ever worked or was about to work, you know? You could have planned to go out with friends, go camping, go to the mountains, go clubbing, whatever this may be. You could have been all excited, ready to do it. But for a small part of you, it's like, you were doubting, like, should I go? Should I do this? And, you prayed about it. And after you prayed about it, you still felt that feeling of, I feel like I should not go. I feel like I don't need to go out with them this weekend. I feel like I don't need to do this, or, however your weekend recently went, whatever you had planned that didn't go as planned happened for a reason. God stopped you because you were amongst people. You were amongst those who dibble and dabble. You were amongst wolves in sheep clothing who were going to silently attack you. And they were going to sit in your face and watch you have a certain reaction to a substance, a certain reaction to something they said. They were going to sit in your face and throw these back end compliments at you and act as if you were the problem. God said, I had to stop this attack. So my chosen one who has been working on themselves did not get out of character. God said, I had to stop you dead in your tracks from moving forward. You could have been thinking about giving somebody another chance. And God said, I had to stop you dead in your tracks so you didn't make this same mistake again. God said, I had to stop you from going that far because it's not safe for you to be far away from home at this time. So, whatever was recently canceled, whatever was recently delayed, it was delayed for a reason. God said, I stopped you from going this far. I stopped you from going over there to that place. I stopped you from venting to somebody. I stopped you from spending money on something that does not need your money anymore because you were pouring into a seed that's not growing. You were pouring into a place that's of evil. God said, I stopped you from going to a place that's about to get busted. You don't know what that company has going on behind the scenes. God said, I had to stop my chosen one who has done too much healing work, who has done too much overcoming that cannot be placed in a situation like that. God said, you've had enough on your plate and you don't need to be caught in the fire of what's about to happen. Okay? So many of you could have had planned trips to go on vacation, and somehow it just got canceled and you got refunded. It's different for a lot of people, okay? But God has the power over all of us. We'll proceed with Psalms 90. Lord, you have been our dwelling place throughout all generations. Before the mountains were born, or you brought forth the whole world. From everlasting to everlasting, you are God. You turn people back to dust, saying, return to dust, you mortals. 1,000 years in your sight are like a day that has just gone by. And I know yesterday in one of the videos, I said 7 days to us is probably a day or two to God. So God's timing is different. So God went before you. Angels went before you in this place and saw what it was about. You asked your angels through a prayer like, I just pray that y'all go before me to see if this is for me. I pray that you step foot into this place, God, before me, before I go. And whatever your prayer recently was, God heard you. So they went out to see what was going on. And this place was not for you. It was not for a person like you, proceeding with Psalms. So or like a watch in the night. Yet you sweep people away in the sleep of death. Okay? They are like the new grass of the morning. In the morning it springs up new, but by evening it is dry and withered. We are consumed by your anger and terrified by your indignation. You have set our iniquities before you, our secret sins in the light of your presence. All our days pass away under your wrath. We finish our years with a moan. Our days may come to 70 years or 80 if our strength endures. Yet the best of them are but trouble and sorrow, for they quickly pass and we fly away. If only we knew the power of your anger, your wrath is as great as the fear that is your due. Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Relent, Lord, how long will it be? Have compassion on your servants. Satisfy us in the morning with your unfailing love, that we may sing for your joy and be glad all our days. Make us glad for as many days as you have afflicted us, for as many years as we have seen trouble. May your deeds be shown to your servants, your splendor to their children. May the favor of the Lord our God rest on us. Establish the work of our hands for us. Yes, establish the work of our hands. Now I'm going to go back to, many of you may be wondering what's taking something so long, because it says, relent, Lord, how long will it be? Have compassion on your servants. So many of you may feel like you worked so hard to get something approved. You may feel like you worked so hard to get something done, and now was the time for something. And like I said, God has delayed it for a specific reason. You don't know those people where you were about to go on a trip with. You don't know this person that you were truly confiding in. You don't know what they were doing with your information. They could have been a listening ear. You don't know. You may feel like you could have worked so hard to have a friend, and this person was no friend of yours. You may feel like you recently went through a lot, and you confided in the wrong person again. So you could be belittling yourself, beating yourself up at this time, but it was no mistake of yours. It's just a good heart of yours, okay? So you could be somebody who's very, very close to God, and you're like, I don't know what's going on. Didn't I just do this? Didn't I just put all this work in and this and that? But it happened for a reason. You must know that. There was a planned attack on your life that was going to have you going crazy. Lord only knows what was going to happen, okay? So that's it. That's the message, and I will see you all in my next videos. Thanks for listening.